Habari Entertainment proudly presents Habari Live. Habari Live. From Phoenix, Arizona. And you're listening to the Habari Live podcast. The show that brings you news, sports, and entertainment for people who love HabariEntertainment.com. Here are your hosts, Iesha, Jimmy, and Damon Dipleen Ellison. Let's get it going. We are all the way live.
Good morning, good morning, good morning. Another episode of Habari Live where we keep you updated with the news, sports, and entertainment throughout the week. Like always, we are all the way live from Phoenix, Arizona. Paradise Valley in Phoenix, Arizona. Let's get it going. Yo, what's up, Iesha? Jimmy, what's going on?
What's up?
Good morning.
Let's get pumped. We got a special guest today coming in. We have an author, Jenell Jones. She is the author of the book Shattered. She will be talking about her experience with adoptive system, the adoption system, and she shares her firsthand experience of undersupported foster and adopted parents. So let's go ahead and bring her in. How you doing this morning?
I'm good. How are you?
Oh, we can't. We're doing great. We're doing awesome. Thank you for joining us. Go ahead, bring it on the Max screen for us, bro. Yeah, so we were checking out your book and checking out everything that you have going on, and we think it's really excellent book. We wanted to make sure that our fans get a chance to talk to you about what you have going on and everything. So tell us a little bit about Shattered and what you have learned about the foster system, and what was your inspiration behind writing the book?
So, Shattered is a book that I wrote. It's really the tale of the adoption with my youngest child, Mercy. And it was written because I really felt that her story needed to be told. I recognize that I'm not the only parent that deals with traumatic experiences with the foster care system, and these children, they go through a lot. But I feel that they're not advocated for because nobody is willing to tell the tales and to tell what really is going on in our systems.
It's real. That is very, very true. And so with your firsthand experience, tell us a little bit about what you learned so far about the foster care system, and what are some of the pitfalls that you have come across yourself while trying to adopt.
Well, I've learned that it's not unicorns and rainbows. Mercy is my second adopted child, and so I'm not new to the situation. My other adopted child, he's 1 year older than her, and I've had him since he was 3 days old.
Wow.
So the story was different because he was a family member's child.
Okay.
Mercy came to us when she was 8 years old, and it was really one of those situations that we know that children don't get adopted when they're older. And we definitely know that African American children don't end up in two-parent households when they're older.
That's real.
And so I met this little girl and I fell in love with her at church. And so we thought that we would bring her home and, we would give her love and dresses and bows in her hair, and we were going to live happily ever after.
Right.
But that wasn't the case.
It's sad, but at the same time, you learn so much and you experience so much, so you were able to adopt another kid, right, and get that going, and make that kid. So I want to ask something a little personal. Do you have your own kids of your own?
Yes, I have 7. So
Wow.
I'm not a new parent. I own a couple childcare centers, and one in Phoenix and one in Mesa, Arizona. So I'm used to children, so I'm not a parent that doesn't understand children.
Right.
I love children.
It's so awesome that you dedicated your life to children. 7 kids nowadays is unheard of, definitely. But that shows your dedication to children. And what what brought that about in your life? What was it that made you say, "Hey, I love kids. I want to have more. I want to have a big family." Were you brought up in a big family of your own?
I have a brother and a sister, but I only gave birth to 3. So I'm
Okay.
definitely a person that takes on other. I have my oldest, who is my bonus daughter.
Okay.
And then I gave birth to my 3. And then my nephew, I consider my own because we've raised him and then we adopted the youngest too. So definitely a tribe family. I am a product of people taking care of me. So in my life, I was raised by a single mom, and
Wow.
there's a few people that I can think of in my life that were inspirational and making me the person that I am. And so that's what I've always wanted to be. I've always wanted to be somebody that was impactful. I didn't know at the time it was going to be with children the way it
Right.
is, but I've always believed that we need to give back. We need to help somebody else up.
Man, it is so true. I want to give you a round of applause because it's so amazing. I mean, just the dedication. Everybody can't do it, but just you have child care centers, you're adopting, you're making a difference out here, and that's why we wanted to bring you on because it's so amazing. And I think that the book could tell the story and let everybody know how amazing you are and how what amazing person what you're doing. And it's even greater that you're out here and you're from Phoenix, and that's really amazing, and you're making a difference in the city. And you were born and raised here, right?
Yes, I'm a native.
Wow. So I mean, that's another round of applause. So, as a biological, adoptive, and foster mother, tell a little bit about some of the experiences that shaped your ideas of motherhood.
You know, I think my identity in motherhood was shaped from my mother. I have an amazing mother um, who raised me as a single mom, and she really did the best that she could do with the resources she had.
Mhm.
And my mom always she worked all the time to make sure we had everything we needed.
Wow.
And so, um, my mom taught me to give. My mom is a giver and I'm a giver. And watching her journey, watching her not always have what she needed,
Mhm.
but finding resources for us to make sure we could get what we needed.
Right.
She taught me, to look around and seek help.
Man, that's amazing. I mean, we want to give it up to the single mothers out there because I was raised by a single mother too. I know how hard it is. It's tough, trying to raise kids alone, and the financial responsibilities alone is amazing that people can make it and do what they have to do to make it through those situations, man. So it's really a big deal about that. So so you have private discussions that you do out here and in Phoenix and everything. Can you talk a little bit about that and let the people know about maybe the next one you may have?
So Phoenix we have a big foster and adoptive care community,
Hmm.
and we're experiencing, not all stories are like mine, but we
Okay.
do have a lot of trauma in the system.
Yeah.
So there are discussions that I have with other foster care and adoptive care parents. And we discuss these things. We discuss what's really going on. And, we've learned to be a resource to each other.
Right.
So, we have something in Arizona called Jacob's Law. And Jacob's Law helps us because oftentimes in the system, things aren't fair and you need help, or um, the hospitals aren't supportive. And when you're bringing a child in with mental issues from trauma that they faced,
Hmm.
it can be a very scary road. And at times they'll threaten you. If you
Right.
don't take your child back, we're going to call the police, we're going to call DCS, we're going to take these children away. And so there's a community that's based on ASA Now, which is based on Jacob's Law and providing protection. So a lot of the parents, we have discussions and we talk and we support each other.
Hmm. I mean, that's amazing because I mean, that's what's needed. The support is needed. People need people to talk to. Like it takes a village. It seems like
Yes.
a lot of people are trying to, get out of that mode, but we need to get more in that mode. I'm like, I love that you're a leader. Leading that, telling people that they need to talk to someone and discuss these things because sometimes you need help. It's hard out here alone, and you want to talk to someone and discuss some things and maybe learn something to help you to get through what you might be going through if you're just fostering or you're just a biological parent. So let us know how to integrate adoptive children into your existing family structure and talk about a little bit how some of the ups and downs of trying to adapt to having biological children and foster children.
One thing I want to say is that so Shattered isn't it isn't a very warm fuzzy read, and but in saying that, it's an honest read.
Right.
It's a lot of honesty what can happen in the system.
Mhm.
And I wrote the book to be not to discourage, but really to have conversations about what happens in our adoptive and foster care systems.
Right. Right.
And so the integration, of the children into our family structure, it has to start when the children first come in. And so one of the things about the book, there's a lot of information that was hidden to us about my daughter and a lot of vital information. So if you're going to bring a child in with past sexual abuse or severe trauma, and you're bringing them around typical children, your own children, you need to know these things so you can provide protections. And that's, one of the things about integration. We have to have honest discussions about these children coming into our homes in order to be able to keep them safe and to keep our children safe.
Wow. Yeah, man. I mean, that's really, really important. I think. I mean, just really understanding that you when you're taking on this extra kid that you have to take up different types of educations to make sure that you're getting your kid this kid in the right situations for they can succeed. You just don't want to bring them into an environment that they may not be able to succeed in. So I understand exactly what's needed, but what you're saying. But I think it is definitely needed to education to get more people to open up and learn these things because some people think it's easy, and also just more people should adopt, especially Black people. We need to adopt. We need to help out because there's so many of us that get left behind, and people want to get upset when we're adopted by people of other races. Can't get upset if you're not out there doing anything to make a difference. Get out there and do something. Adopt.
Yep. I was
Yes.
reading this statistic the other day that was saying that young Black men
Uh-huh.
are the ones that typically do not get adopted
Yeah.
most of the time.
Yeah, man.
And I was like, well, why is that?
Well, we know why.
Mhm.
We know why.
Yeah.
So it's a tough one.
It is, but we should also be
I
willing
was
as
gonna
well.
say something. What was you gonna say, Jenell? I'm sorry.
We don't. A lot of our children, men and the boys and the girls, they don't
Mhm.
get adopted.
Right.
It's very unfortunate, but one of the things that we have to have a discussion about in this community, and something we need more people involved in, is what about what they're subjected to in our system.
Mhm.
So it's one thing to take a child away from their family for whatever reason. We can all agree that that's traumatic.
Right.
But the problem, which a lot of people don't understand, is they're being abused in the system. And so then they're coming into our home with extensive trauma.
Right.
And so we're often not told of the trauma, and then we're not given adequate resources to help these children get through the trauma. And those are things that we really have to have discussions about,
Mhm.
because we may not realize it, or we may think that, I don't have to think about that problem, but eventually those children, we're going to encounter them,
Yeah.
and we're encountering, you know, people with a lot of abuse, and it's not always good. The system likes to avoid. I don't know if people realize that one of the things they do to our children is when they can't find them foster homes or residential treatment facilities because they have mental issues, they
Mhm.
house them in juvenile detention. So our children are being housed in juvie when they really need medical treatment.
Right.
And then when they turn 18, they're given an apartment and a very short time out, and then they're on the streets. And these are discussions we need to have.
Definitely. Very important discussions because it's leaving kids behind. I mean, we talk about I talk about all the time the special needs kids, the environment and the umbrella that they're given in high school, and then after they graduate, they just everybody they're just gone. No one's there for them anymore. They don't have the umbrella and protection anymore. So these foster kids, they don't have their parents anymore. So we
Mhm.
should be giving them a bigger umbrella to help them to make sure they can guide through this world. We're putting them in pretty much facilities that's like juvenile detention homes, like you said. They're going into these foster homes. They having to fight. Most of the kids are violent. We have to change this. We have to put more. We have too much money as Americans and as a country to not put money into the kids and the kids' future. These kids should be somewhere going into a great education and helping these kids get educated, and should be great schools. But we're not giving the focus that's needed.
Right.
So, what do you think, Jenell, can help the system change to become better for these kids, and for kids can have a better outcome?
You know, I would say that the whole system needs to be revamped, on so many levels. My daughter Mercy came to me when she was 8 years old. She went into the system at 3, but from 3 to 8, she had 21 placements.
Wow.
So we're talking about education. She had no educational foundation when she got into our home.
Right.
She never had anybody to teach her basics. You take for granted that, children should be able to bathe themselves and know how to brush their teeth, or, use a washcloth. But when you're in 21 different homes,
Right.
who really takes the time to do that?
Mhm.
And I feel that, like, my child, because she's very strong-willed, um, she wasn't liked, to be honest with you, to just call it out. She wasn't liked. She can be very stubborn and very strong-willed, which could be something that a lot of our children are viewed in those lights.
Mhm.
And so things have to change. Like, why do these children have so many placements? I talk about it in the book, but one of her foster care placements, they beat her and her twin brother with
Wow.
a high heel shoe and left holes in them.
Goodness.
To my knowledge, nothing has still happened to this woman. She still hasn't been held accountable. But because nobody is advocating for these children, nobody's discussing it. And,
Mhm.
why don't we discuss it? We don't discuss it because these children can't just tell their stories themselves.
That's
So
real.
it's hidden in the dark, right? So until we have honest discussions, why are these children being put in so many placements? Why are these children allowed to be abused in our
Mhm.
system? Why my daughter also has she has an IEP. She's special needs, but when she
Right.
came to me, nobody told me this information. So I probably wasted a full year trying to
Wow.
figure out what was going on academically with her. Um, and her mental health issues were also hidden. So even as, as much as I want parents to come into our system and to help, I
Mhm.
also want to help parents and protect parents that say, when we do this, when we're going into the system, it needs to be revamped, and we also have to be protected.
Mhm.
But the children need protection, the parents need protection, and especially our minority children need protection in this system.
Okay. I 100% agree. I mean, it's definitely something that needs to be done. I mean, we've seen too much. I think one thing that could be changed is the vetting system of some of these foster parents.
Definitely. That's what I
Um,
was gonna say. The way
because
that
you was in foster care, so talk about a little bit about
I
your experience.
I can't tell you how many placements I've had, but from the ones that I do remember
Hmm.
from age 5 to age 9, those placements were not all that great.
Right.
There was an Amish family. We were homeschooled. We literally had to go out and do chores and like milking goats and churning
Right.
butter and
Right.
stuff like that. And
And every stop is a different culture,
every stop is a
the
different
the
culture.
culture shock every time. So you're not really
Every
learning
parent's
anything.
style of parenting is totally different in
Right.
every placement. The last placement that I remember before we ended up at my sister's grandmother's house was her name was Miss Jenkins, and you know she was overall nice. She was overall nice lady, but I didn't really care for the parenting style as far
Mhm.
as punishments and things like that. There was this one night, one of the other foster children got up in the middle of the night, went into the kitchen and ate dinner that was put away for her husband. She assumed that the new kids that just came in were the ones that did it.
Mhm.
So we were made to stand in the kitchen in a square on one leg for the remainder of the night.
Wow. I mean,
So
this type of stuff needs to be vetted.
it does.
I
Like
mean, for real.
the type of parents that are going into the system, they need to have background checks done.
Hmm.
They need to have I'm sorry to say it, but mental health
And
evaluations and
they
parenting.
also
They need to go through parenting classes.
right. They also need to talk to these kids more.
Hmm.
I mean, you take the kid to a foster parent's house and no one's contacting, asking the kid without the foster parent how things going,
Right.
what are things is going
And that's
on,
what the
and
guardian ad litem is supposed to be there
right.
for. They're supposed to be kind of like a mediator, or the social worker
Mm.
is supposed to be kind of like a mediator to kind of assist you with helping these kids.
Okay.
But a
Well, I
lot of the
mean,
foster
I
we didn't have.
I also understand that a lot of the foster parents aren't all bad because I was in foster care for about a year and a half.
oh yeah,
Yeah, and I lived with this Christian. Like they're probably the you know what I'm saying. They embraced me with open arms, and
yeah.
you know what I mean. And to this day, I remember everything. I remember where they lived, and you know what
Hmm.
I mean. And like I said, they embraced me with like open arms.
Yeah,
Like
man. I mean, it's
Yeah.
got to be some good and some bad, but what Jenell is focusing on is trying to change some of these pitfalls, and
right,
we're just discussing what these voiceless, some of the voiceless people, are the victims of adoption and the care system.
Hmm.
So, do you have any other books, Jenell, that you have out there?
No,
Or
Shattered
this your first one?
is my first book.
Okay.
And I will say, to follow up on what both of them were saying, there are wonderful foster and adoptive parents out
Mm,
there.
okay. Yes.
And I know quite a few.
Mhm.
And there are some very bad ones. And I want to say, like, the guardian ad litems and even the DCS workers, some of the problems are their caseloads are humongous.
Yeah.
They're huge, and
Mm,
they don't get that quality time with them. Another
right.
problem with the DCS caseworkers, and to be very honest, is they don't have a background in early childhood. A lot of them are fresh out of college. They may not have children, and they have huge caseloads. And these people are dealing with trauma. So
Mhm.
going in, and anytime you take a child out of the system, it's traumatic. We
Right.
see some of the things on the news,
Mhm.
but in that, you know, not only do the workers need to be supported, but the families that are taking them in. I think sometimes, foster parents may go in with good intentions, but we get burnt out very quickly too, because we're in war zones sometimes,
Mhm.
dealing with these children, but we don't have enough resources. A lot of the mental health that's offered for the children, it's not good. For
Right.
lack of better words, it's not good. It's state subsidized insurance. Most of the time, the good psychologists aren't going to take it for very long. There's a very high turnover. There's been times where my daughter couldn't even keep a good psychologist because they're constantly changing. As soon as they get a skill set, they're getting out and they're going to work for a different practice.
Right.
And so it's just a lot that has to be done. And I even want to go as far as to say is that us foster parents,
Mhm.
we need therapy too when we're done working with these children.
Yeah.
The post-traumatic stress that I describe in the book for myself, trying to care for my daughter Mercy, it's a feat.
Yeah.
And there's just not enough resources to protect anybody. The basic background checks they give us, they're a little bit more than basic. They just don't, it's just not enough.
Right.
It's not enough.
I mean, I know it's tough because there's not a lot of foster parents out there. There's not a lot of people that's stepping up. So you're in a situation where you don't have a lot of money to hire a lot of DCS workers.
Mhm.
So that puts you in the pinch. And then you have so many kids in the system and they're
Mhm.
overworked. And like you said, it's hard. I knew a lady, Robin, that she worked for the system for a long time. I don't know if she still does, but she always talked about her workload and the kids and how it's so hard to be able to help them because you only have a few minutes per kid. And I remember her having so many folders and kids that she was working with. I'm like, you can't understand how they can figure out or help these kids with the amount of time that they have, and they don't pay them much. The pay is bad. They're working them overloading them, and they don't pay them anything. So it's a tough situation, man. And you think with what they're doing that we would pay them accordingly because these are our kids.
Right.
These are kids that have been left behind by abusive parents or whatever the situation is. If you have, they put in the money to take the kids, you got to have make sure they're in comfortable situations.
Right.
So,
But I mean, too, like for parents who may be wanting to get into fostering or
mhm.
becoming an adoptive parent, it's expensive.
Right, it has to be more incentive for people. It has to be more incentive because it's so expensive. Not everyone can afford it. How did you deal with the economics of fostering?
When you choose to foster a child, you're doing it for free, even when you're choosing to adopt. I mean, what you get is minimal. And most of the time, these children come to you holding most of the time garbage bags filled with their belongings. Their life is in a garbage bag. Most of the time, the clothes are too small or they're not appropriate or they don't fit. And I think you get like a $250 allowance to buy clothes. Well, I mean, you can't buy a whole wardrobe for that. And it's a labor of love. And so you just have to make it work. And I have never been the type of person that is going to let my child go without,
Right.
whether you're with me for a short time or a long time. I just make it work. If I have to take a collection plate up at church and say, hey, I need donations, I got to buy this kid some clothes, that's what we have to do, because I don't want them to suffer. And, the thing about our system is, it's social services. And so it's just, we don't pay our teachers a lot, and we definitely don't pay foster parents and people that work in the system a lot. But the problem I think we need to realize is we're going to have to pay eventually.
Mhm.
There's studies out right now, not enough. But I want to point out to our homeless epidemic in downtown Phoenix. I've read that it could be as much as 40% of those people could be former or adoptive or foster care children.
Yep. Because
So
they don't have a safety net.
yeah. So think about that. Look at what we're dealing with. And one of the things, a very true story, is my daughter has a sister who was housed in juvie.
Mm.
And so as they let her out, um, the philosophy is when these children do commit a crime, that's when we'll deal with it.
Mm.
But, you know, if you think about it, what kind of crime is going to make them deal with it? It's not going to be shoplifting. It's
Right.
going to be a serious crime.
Right.
So I can be a little dramatic, but does that mean that we have to get hurt or killed by somebody who has mental health issues in order to deal with the problem?
Yes.
Why do we have to get hurt or killed? Like, eventually this is coming to our doorstep. These numbers are increasing.
Right.
And so this is something we all have to be concerned about.
Definitely. I agree. And you know, we were always also, I wanted to lastly to talk about some of the sibling separations that goes on in the foster and adoptive system, and what do you think we can do to lessen the frequency of this happening in the system?
You know, so I was reading that the numbers, the research isn't exact, but it's somewhere between 50 and 85% of siblings get separated in foster care. And, you know, some of that is because of they don't have people and they need to separate it. But I mean, who comes up with this stuff? You know, I can understand, you know, like my daughter is from a family of 10. And so keeping 10 kids together, I know that would
It's
be a
gonna be tough.
feat.
Right.
But my daughter is a twin and they separated her from her twin brother. I mean, to think about that, like, who would separate twins?
Man.
These children have been together since before, you know, birth.
Right.
And so they've already been ripped away from their family structure, and now to separate twins. I'm like, did the caseworker do this? Did a psychologist do this? Did a team do this? Like, this is just unimaginable. And we need to do something about it because it causes more trauma to these kids. My daughter loves her brother. Like, the few times I've had them together, because I have fought to keep them together or to have a relationship, they finish each other's sentences.
Right.
You know, it's really sad that she would be separated from her twin brother. And she's not the only one. Like, things need to be put in place to protect these kids, because the people that are making the decisions to separate siblings, to separate twins, I don't know what's wrong with them, but they can't think that this is a good idea, because it's not humane at all.
It's not. It's not. It's ridiculous. They should do as much as they can to keep the kids together. And I know, Iesha, you know, me and you being close, I know that you've lost your brother until he was 18 to the system. And
He was
right
adopted
now
when he was 3.
And then you didn't see him for 15 years.
I didn't.
And now your sister,
I didn't even know where he was at until he was 11.
Right. And then your sister, she was separated, and she's
at birth.
You have no idea where she's at right now.
And the last time I had contact with her, she was 13.
Right. So
and she just recently turned 18.
And you know, the foster system, you know, it's tough, man, and it separates families and people, and it hits home for us because we, you know what I'm saying, you're a part of my family. You're everything for us, and you're everything for me. So it's part of us. You know what I mean? So it's a big deal, man. And losing your family and people is crazy. But we got to do better, man. We have to figure out a way to do better and make the system better and work better for everyone, and bring families back together.
Most definitely.
Yep. It's important, man. That's why, you know, I do everything I can to help my people, no matter what I can do. You know, I might not be rich, but I try to do everything I can to help who I can. That's just how I'm built. And it looks like the way you're built too, Jenell. And we really, really appreciate you coming on, talking about your book, Shattered. Can you tell us where to buy the book, and a little bit about your future and your future plans, and where we'll be able to see you maybe in a little while in Phoenix?
So the book is available on my website, which is jenelljones.com. It also, May 15th, it will be on Amazon and Barnes and Noble. But right now, you can order it through the website. It's pre-sale, but just just a little bonus. If you order it, I go ahead and ship it. So you can have it now. I am available. I'm reachable. So I've been doing a lot of podcasts. And so I've had some requests for speaking engagements. So we will be doing that. My website lists all the activities. And so my future is, whatever path God puts me on. So I want to tell Mercy's story. And the book isn't the read everybody expects it to be. It's not nice. It's just very honest.
Right.
I feel that I tell my mistakes.
Mhm.
And I tell what this does to families. And so people, I feel, really need to understand what goes on in a family. In order to make a change. In order to be impactful, we have to have these discussions.
That's real. That is real. We really, really appreciate you, Jenell. We're going to go ahead and take a break. Thanks for stopping by, Jenell. We're going to get back at you. We're going to buy a copy of your book. We're getting your order soon. Order from us soon. So you'll be shipping one out to us soon. We're going to make sure we do that. Thank you. We'll be contacting you. Please have a good rest of your day.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Appreciate you.
Okay.
Let's go to a
Bye-bye.
quick break. We'll be right.
Habari Entertainment Films present There's Only One Name for News with Damon and Iesha. Habari Live Podcast. Habari Entertainment, a race against time. On a quest for glory. Habari News Weekly, HabariEntertainment.com. Catch us for more. Visit us, HabariEntertainment.com.
Now, this week's Habari News Weekly with Damon Dipling Ellison. Sponsored by
Twitter. Yo, what's happening? Welcome back. We want to thank Jenell Jones again for stopping by and talking about our great book, Shattered, and the system, the foster care system. And it was a great discussion that we just had with her. And
There's a ghost.
there's a ghost.
Nico said, amazing discussion.
That's a ghost. Oh, because we never talk to him anymore. You're right.
He don't.
I was just telling him that the other day. We don't never see that dude anymore. But thanks for for watching, Nico. What's up, G? Anyway, so we got let's go into some news this morning. I want to talk about Twitter and Elon Musk. He removed the what was it, the verified blue
Blue
status
check mark.
for everyone. We saw everyone.
Yeah.
Vinton lost his.
Mhm.
Everybody lost theirs.
Javier, I
Nico
think
said-
it was Javier Soto. A couple
Yeah,
people.
yeah, man. A lot of stars. LeBron, I
got
think he
his
said
bill.
William Shatner and a couple other people that he left on there.
He said he will be personally paying for.
He's going to be paying for it.
Yeah, that's something like that.
LeBron said it.
No.
LeBron said he didn't want to pay for it. Most stars said they didn't want to pay for it.
Right.
But the thing is this. I mean, it's already causing a lot of confusion. I think it was a police department or something said this is the official site of this department. Then another Twitter was created and said, "Nah, this is the official site." So it's going to be a lot of confusion, impersonation. The verified status was that way because it kept people from impersonating others.
Mm-hmm.
It kept people that were verified. Instead of lessening the rules for verification, he should have been tightening them and giving more rules for verification, because right now it's so tough with fake AI bots releasing fake AI bot videos, and saying this person said this.
Right.
It's so tricky out here with
I think
Photoshop and everything else, man.
Mercanish was saying this morning that the requirements were a debit card and an ID
Right. So I mean that's not
or
enough,
something
man.
like
That's
that.
not enough.
Nico said, hey, I will be back.
Okay. We'll see, Nico. I won't hold my breath though, homie. It's all good. But yeah, man, it's I don't know what Elon is doing. I think that Twitter, like they were calling the elites or the elite users on Twitter. I think they're a very important part of Twitter and journalism and journalists and they're a very important part of keeping it built. He should have figured out another way to get revenue. I think this is a bad idea. Like they say, his cars are great, everything's great, but he does not know what he's doing with Twitter right now. He's causing more issues than he's fixing. And I just think that he needs to go a different direction on with this Twitter blue thing.
Definitely, because I just been laughing at everybody that I've been seeing this week. It's just, I just noticed my blue check mark was gone.
Yeah, they are gone. So it's weird. But let's go to the next story here. We have a sad story, man. At a toddler was shot, left at a fire station in critical condition. I just don't understand this stuff, man. We've seen the statistics where kids, now that we've lessened the gun rules and laws, kids are being shot at an alarming rates. A toddler has been hospitalized after being found in critical condition from a gunshot wound in a Washington State firehouse Friday morning, according to investigators. Officers in Tukwila, I think it is, Tukwila, Washington, responded to several 911 callers for alert town neighborhood in which a female could be heard screaming on the phone. Investigators said officers went to the vicinity of the fire station and saw a vehicle flee and a toddler who was wounded by a gunshot left behind. So they just throw out a kid and burn out.
Wow.
The unidentified child was in critical condition and rushed to the hospital. The status of the victim is unknown at this time, the police said in a statement on Friday. So this is, man, it's terrible, man. And I mean, with so many kids are getting shot, man, because people are careless. And we think that it's okay for all these careless people to have guns.
Right.
Man, it's sad. Let's move on to the next story, man. We got a Texas man indicted for alleged threat to kill U.S. Rep Maxine Waters. A lot of these crazies been doing this, man. They've been going after these people, man, especially Democrats. We've had they went after Nancy Pelosi, beat up her husband.
Yep.
They're trying to kill her, and these people are losing it, man. They're losing it.
Because they're not getting their way.
They're losing it because they're watching Fox News, and Fox News is feeding them trash. You seen they just had to come out of court and say that they was wrong about the
they had
about the voting,
the settlement with the lawsuit.
Yeah, they had to settle that they were lying to their users about Dominion, about the voting. And these are the people who sitting around calling everybody else liars, everybody else fake news. But no, you're watching the fake news. You're the fake. Because they're lying, and they've been caught. They had to pay money because they were lying. And then they're lying on news, telling people, getting these people pumped up about critical race theory and transsexuals. This is what they care about right now. And abortion. And the abortion pill. I think the justice made a decision with that they send it back down to the lower courts.
Yep, they sent it back down to the lower courts. They did a stay on it.
Nico said about the check mark, I agree that they have another way of making revenue like Facebook and Instagram do.
Right. There's got to be other ways that he can make revenue.
Then he said, Damon, keep holding that breath.
Right. I'm holding it, Nico. So we got so it's Brian Michael Garrity, 60, was charged in an indictment with 4 counts of making threats in interstate communications and 4 counts of threatening a U.S. official. The U.S. Attorney Office in Los Angeles said in a statement, Garrity was arrested on April 13th after prosecutors filed a criminal complaint alleging that he had threatened Waters after elected officials and a news reporter in Houston
Wow.
and other elected officials. So this guy has just been running around threatening everybody, man. And you're 60 years old, man. You don't have something better to do? Goodness, bro. You're 60.
Right.
You going around, man. These people, man.
They crazy.
Get a life, man. Go help out your grandpeople or your grandkids or something, dog. Let's talk about a Minnesota officer who fatally shot Deontay Wright to be freed. I don't get it, man. It's just sad, man. Now, a white former police officer convicted of manslaughter after mistaking her handgun for a taser and fatally shooting black motorist Deontay Wright in a suburban Minnesota in 2021 is set to be released from prison Monday. Minnesota Department of Corrections spokesperson Andy Skoogman announced Friday that the former officer Kim Potter has been released after serving about 16 months of a 2-year sentence. Gave her 2 years. It's tough, man, because you know what I'm saying? I mean, they can just be like, oh, I made a mistake. And it's hard to give somebody 15, 20, 30, 40 years if you can't prove that it wasn't a mistake.
Right.
You know what I mean? And it's hard to prove if it wasn't or wasn't a mistake in that situation, man. It's hard to prove, man. And so I don't know, man. They said the criminal investigation analysts are working closely with law enforcement to monitor the situation to ensure Kim Potter, like all incarcerated persons, is safe and she leaves our facility. With 2000, it happened in April 2001 as Derek Chauvin was on trial in Minnesota for the George Floyd's trial. Wright's death sparked several days of protest. Man, yeah, because it was, it's everything's caught on camera now. I remember this one. I remember that, and it was sad, man. Sad situation, man. The police seem like the police need better training to me. You know what I mean? They need better training.
They do.
You don't know the difference between your gun and your taser. You should know the difference between those things. Your training
They should feel different.
they
The
should-
weight should feel different.
They do. They do. You know what I mean? And she wasn't even under a situation where her life was in threatened. He was just trying to get away. He was doing some dumb stuff, but at the same time, that's what he was doing. He wasn't threatening to kill you or anything. So for
Right.
her to go for a gun so comfortably is just weird, man. On to the next one. We got a cloud seeding potential exists in Arizona, per a new report. Now, there's some of these crazy people we call this HARP. You ever heard of that?
Mm-mm.
That's some of these conspiracy theorists. They think that they be going around changing the weather with this HARP junk. They're crazy.
Wow.
Anyway, I don't even like talking about them crazy people. But anyway, cloud seeding though is real. If there's a cloud that has a certain structure, they can be able to add certain seeds into that cloud to make that cloud rain. But the cloud already have to exist. They can't make the cloud. You know what I mean? So, but they can make the cloud rain. The process involves finding clouds under the right weather conditions, such as moisture, temperature, and direction of movement. Then silver iodide particles are launched into these clouds, either from the ground or a plane, and those will produce rain. And so they're saying that Arizona might be a good spot to try to get more rain. Even though we did get a lot of rain this year, we still are in a drought.
Right.
Unbelievably. And they think this is the best way to approving the efficiency of clouds. The Arizona project planner analyst Noli Templeton said the cloud has so much moisture that is within the cloud, and what the silver iodide can do is mark those particles a little bit heavier, so then they'd fall out of that cloud. The strategy is several decades old and has been used frequently in other Western states.
So it's kind of like these iodized particles that they're putting into the sky.
Mhm.
It's kind of like magnets for the rain.
Pretty much, I guess it's just making it
So the droplets connect
It's
to it
it's
and then
making the
make
moisture heavier,
making it
and
heavier,
so
so the
it'll
rain
drop
drops.
out of the clouds.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Just making more moisture pretty much into the cloud. But it's pretty dope. That's why I want to talk about it, because science is the most important factor to keeping us alive and keeping the human population thriving. Without science, we're done. We're not going to be able to wish our way out of this.
Right.
We can't pray our way out of it. We're going to have to come up with innovative ways to try to get us out of this drought. Uh, we use so much resources from the Colorado River; it's not going to be able to sustain forever. We talked about last week. We were able to get some more water from the natives to use off the river for a lot of money, but we got to figure out different ways to get water. I know they're supposed to be doing the salutations stations on the West Coast with taking the salt water out of desalinate. What did I call them? I don't know. Whatever. Anyway, desalination. But yeah, we want to get those going, man, faster. We got to figure out a quicker ways to get water going fast, man. Or we're gonna have some issues. People need to start taking it serious. What do you have today?
This week we are going to talk about cool pavements coming to more Phoenix streets.
Were they talking about using a different material to make the street sidewalks?
Yeah. Actually, there's actually a few neighborhoods that already have this cool pavement.
What is it made out of, say?
It says the Fairview Palace neighborhood will soon be getting the cool pavement again because the first time that it was laid, it didn't go the right way. But more neighborhoods are going to start seeing it soon. The streets transportation department estimates that there will be 100 miles of cool pavement in 11 neighborhoods across the city by mid-June. So what they're doing is they're using a different mixture for the asphalt that makes the roads 10 to 12 degrees cooler.
So it's still asphalt?
It's still asphalt, but it's
cooler.
It's cooler.
I'm such an idiot.
Yeah.
Right.
I'm not even gonna lie to you.
What?
I'm such an idiot. Earlier, when she told me to get the picture,
my
dumb self, I thought she said pool pavement.
Oh my God.
So there's a picture of the pool, of a picture of a pool for like 30 seconds.
That's because you don't be listening.
I couldn't tell what you were saying. I said pool pavement, and you said yeah.
I said cool.
Cool.
See,
I don't know. That's why I made sure I said what I said to you a couple times to make sure you understood.
Cool pavement.
And I said it cool pavement that several times.
Oh, okay, I see it.
It's a lot of people. A lot of countries have been using their plastics to go into the streets.
There've been
and other innovative ideas.
asphalt lasts longer.
and it lasts longer too. And it's a good way of using the plastics instead of just throwing them.
If they use that innovation with the plastics mixed in with the cool pavement idea, that will kind of make the roads a little bit cooler, but also last longer.
Asphalt is based in oil, you know that.
Yeah.
Right.
Plastic is oil too.
But it's already used. You know what I mean? It's already been used. So this is a recycled idea. We can use less plastic, period, and go back to the old ways of using glass and aluminum for everything. But the plastic that is here, we have to do something to it. So I'm like, pave the roads with it. That's to me, but whatever. Let's go into sports, bro.
Habari Sports.
And NBA playoffs have been pretty good so far. The Suns, we taking a lead, 2-1 lead. Kawhi Leonard's hurt, so we was able to take a stranglehold on the series. He's out. Looked like he probably is going to be out for the rest of the series. So we need to go ahead and wrap it up today.
He's always getting hurt.
Yeah, last couple years hasn't been good for him, man. His knees haven't been working out for him. But that's the reason why San Antonio was okay with getting rid of him. But that's how it is. I'm not gonna go the route of Stephen A. And he was talking trash about him, saying that he's the worst superstar ever because he's. I mean, I don't. You don't know how bad this man knees are hurt. This man knees may be hurt for real. I don't know, man. I don't know. I mean, it's tough because it's situations where what I'm saying, he does
Cedric
play
Ceballos
well.
knees.
Right. He does play well one game, and then the next game it seems like he out. But we don't know for sure, man, what's going on with this. This man could really have a degenerating knee problem, and he's trying his best to do what he can on it. I I feel sorry for the dude. You know what I'm saying? Because I think he want to be out there. I don't think he's just doing this just because he feels like it. I really don't. Um, I think him and Paul George, they just have been unhealthy. I don't know if that's because of what they do or how they do things. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? It happens to a lot of players over the years. There's been certain players who just are not healthy. You know what I'm saying? They just hurt all the time. It happened in the 90s. It happened it happens. So I don't know why everybody want to act like it's like he's like choosing to be hurt.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm out. He wants to win. He just by the way he plays, you could tell he wants to win. But who knows, man? Denver is mopping up the Timberwolves. The Timberwolves suck. For real, dog. And they suck, man. How did you take a step backwards from last year? You would think they would go forward a little bit, man. I don't understand that team, man. Big Cat, man. I don't get it, man. He's been in the league for a while. These the cats to me that they should be talking about, Stephen A. Smith and them, but they just be like, I guess because Minnesota sucks. But dude is an all-star, man, and he should be doing more. For real. Him and Anthony Edwards, man. Them cats, man, dog, they've been in the league a while. Rudy Gobert, like you should be embarrassed, bro. Because dude, you can't get nothing done. Nothing. Team to team, he just sucks. Dog can't even make a hook shot, man. He should be killing them dudes. He down there 7-4, 7, whatever, man. Dog, man, I don't get it, man. Then he's supposed to have been the thing that was gonna make the change for Minnesota. They still can't make it out the first round. Can't win one game. He out there punching people. He need to look in the mirror and punch himself. Cause he need to. I don't get it, man. Dude sucks. Straight up. I mean, for real, man. I really don't like the saying that NBA players suck, man, because they are really good. And he would spot me up, dunk all on my head. But compared to his peers, he is trash, dog. Like, give me Kevin Looney over Rudy Gobert any day. Straight up.
The Nets are winning right now.
Are they?
I mean, up 3 points. But
The Nets have been playing hard, man. I don't like the way they do things. I hate small ball. I hate that their center is like 115 pounds. Claxton weighs Iesha's weight.
Right. I'm
And
sure it was
he's
just like,
like 7 foot.
115. That's like me.
And they got him out there like stopping Embiid. Like, if you don't stop it, like, I don't understand what's going on out here
I hate to
nowadays,
say it,
man.
but they have that.
Get a real center.
You know how they have that play now online stuff on the game or whatever.
Uh-huh.
Claxton be killing. I ain't gonna. You remember how I used to do JaVale McGee? Yeah, they're looking like prime JaVale McGee.
Man. Claxton is okay player, but man, he's too little.
Defensive.
He's too little.
You can get a lot of blocks. He get blocks.
He's off the ball blocks.
Jaren Jackson, he's good defensive.
Yeah, oh yeah, Jaren Jackson's cool, but he's playing the power forward. Like, dude, that's what Claxton is. But since he can't shoot,
they got Tillman at the 5, don't they?
Yeah, Tillman hooped them boys up last game. I hope he have another good game today. Let's go, Tillman. Let's go, Memphis. I'm going, man. Let's go. I hope Morant plays. He probably don't.
Be honest with you?
What?
I think the Lakers are gonna win tonight.
You said the Lakers was gonna win the series.
I mean, but really tonight, because I don't want to. So you know how Mike used to get pissed off and take stuff personal.
LeBron is not Mike. Stop it.
LeBron is finna take this game personal, and he finna go. Man,
He should have took it personal when dude was all in his grill talking all that trash.
Right.
And
Now
then
he-
LeBron
now
kind of
he-
started the trash talking
because
too.
now he took it to the media.
Yeah, he took whatever.
Because he was like, he had said something. I saw this TikTok, and it was like, I would be Dylan Brooks said something about I want to guard up any LeBron, all LeBrons, and somebody had pictures of all three of LeBrons, the Cleveland, the early Cleveland,
Right.
Miami, and Lakers.
Mhm.
And he was like, these two right here, he did not care about his body then. He was just jumping over everybody and doing whatever he wanted. So now he's, you know what I'm saying, slowed down. And everybody's talking about before this game, he finna put on that extra strength icy hot.
We will see, man.
He said he finna put on that extra strength icy hot for this game.
LeBron is not LeBron of 10 years ago. So
that LeBron was actually like, he was, you know what I mean?
I would be
like,
worried.
You remember he jumped over Jason Terry?
I would be worried if it was. I don't want to talk about memories. We're talking about right now. And
right
now, Dylan Brooks was kind of D'ing dude up. And if LeBron can't run you over, he has a problem getting around people. And Memphis, you know, with that rookie little dude, and with Brooks, they're bodying LeBron up. And LeBron, you know, if like I said, if he can't bully you, he really don't have too many moves. He gonna get a ball up.
Right.
And Memphis has been doing really well of putting a body on LeBron. And, you know, he'll bump into you, you know what I'm saying? If you can stand his little couple bumps without giving out, he gonna kick the ball out. Or he gonna do that little fadeaway thing. So, you know, yeah, and 9 times out of 10, he gonna miss that. I do not have any faith in that shot because he misses it most times. So if you can get him to do that, you know what I'm saying, you play some good D, and Dylan did that, man, most of the game. If he does that again, I can see them winning, man, for real. And don't let them get Ja back because they can't stop Ja. Russell don't play defense. He don't at all. And you gonna put Austin Reeves on him?
Austin Reeves can shoot though. That's what I would say though.
Man, Austin Reeves, man, he's cool, man, but he to me he shoots too much in situations where I think he should be giving the ball up to LeBron and AD.
Out here looking
and he
like
just
Jordan
come down.
Poole.
He just come down trying to shoot like, dog, if you don't stop it. But whatever. I wanted to talk about Atlanta. You know, they got a good win. The Warriors finally showed up. We had some terrible calls in that Philly game last time.
You hear what JJ Redick said?
What?
He was like, I've never complained about the refs, but the Sacramento versus this whole series, the refs been terrible.
And they've been letting them boys go at it in Sacramento and Golden State. They've been letting it get real physical, man. They haven't called a lot, and they definitely have been really, really physical. So we will see what happens. But what else I got? You got the Warriors. We got Philly today, the LA today. LA will lose. And we with the Suns, hopefully we can go ahead and get it 3-1. We can go ahead and end it out when we get back here. And do that. All right. Let's take a quick break, man. We'll come back with Comic Book Corner.
Habari Entertainment Films present There's Only One Name for News with Damon and Iesha. Habari Live Podcast. Habari Entertainment, a race against time. On a quest for glory. Habari News Weekly, HabariEntertainment.com. Catch us for more. Visit us, HabariEntertainment.com.
Welcome back. All right. So let's go ahead, I guess, and go to Comic Book Corner.
Comic Book Corner. Sponsored by
Healthy snacks. If so, head over to the www.habarientertainment.com and click on the Naked Nutrition banner to browse and select your snacks from their variety. First purchases, I think, is 15% off. So go ahead and do that. Go to habarientertainment.com and check out Naked Nutrition. In comic books this week, we had the finale on the Mandalorian. Probably was the best episode of the season.
It was the best episode.
Yeah,
of the
yeah,
season.
yeah.
It was the most action-packed
definitely.
episode I've seen all season.
Definitely, man. Dude, Moff Gideon was tough, man.
Yeah, he
They
was.
couldn't even take him out, on their own.
The new suits he came out with.
Yeah, man. Their use of the Mandalorian tech and the armor was pretty dope.
Yep.
I thought it looked pretty goofy watching them fight Grogu. It didn't. They should have used more CGI than the puppet on that situation.
Yeah.
It just looked goofy. Them that watching them fight that shit, that they look goofy. But I thought that it's about time he talks. It's about time he gets a little bigger. I don't know, something. You know what I mean?
Well, I mean,
he's
he's
so
still
little. I know it's annoying. He's like 50 though. It's annoying. Do something, man. He needs to get bigger. Talk something,
Well,
dog.
he's starting to talk. He's doing his little babbling. And
Nah,
talking
come
now,
on,
but-
man. We need something.
So I mean,
I don't know
maybe
why-
next season we'll get him actually talking.
But I thought it was good. I thought the season overall was man, and it was okay. I'm not going to rate it really because I don't think, because I'm probably gonna give it a low. I'm 6. You know what I mean? I'm gonna say 6 out of 10, man. It was dope, but I thought it was just lackluster. It was just something missing about it. The direction.
I think a lot of it was just filler.
Yeah, I don't know, man. But the last episode did help it a lot. It was really, really good. Maybe we would have given even lower without that one. We watched Teen Titans this week. We checked out that, the first episode of the second half of the last season that they're gonna air on this. Man, what I'm saying? I've been watching this Teen Titans show for a while, man, and I've been complaining about them not connecting the Doom Patrol and Cyborg with the Teen Titans. And
Especially with
listening,
Gar.
and listening to some people talk about that they're not on the same universe.
Right.
Is what I heard. DC, I just don't get it. I mean, the things that you have a chance to hook up Cyborg and Beast Boy, and you don't do it. You have a chance to do Shazam, Black Adam, you don't do it. You just, everything that you would think are layups for easy entertainment, they don't do it.
It kind of almost felt like they did everything that they could to avoid doing that.
I don't get it, man. But now they want to do it. And now he's connected with Cyborg. And
Right.
even though the Doom Patrol show is already over, now the show had him going into the red, which is supposed to be his animal, like I guess
His
like
force.
a force like Flash has, the
Mhm.
Speed Force, or it's like an animal type red thing, whatever. And he had the Freedom Beast dude. And when they brought in a lot of character, the Stargirl person, they brought in Barry from the W. They're doing all this stuff, showing multiverses and stuff. At the end,
Right.
I don't, and it's like, are you gonna
So
bring
they
these
giving us
characters
this
in?
right. That's what I was just about to say.
Are you just
they
gonna
giving
end
us
this?
this all as an Easter egg?
That's what I
to
hate
say
about
that
watching
they're-
DC, man.
That they're bringing it all to an end, and then everybody's gonna all be in the same universe.
Everything that he
on the
showed,
next iteration of what they do.
everything that was a Flash, pretty much is canceled.
Right. That's what I'm talking about. Like, so are they gonna bring those characters in? Maybe if they revamp that whole universe.
I don't know.
and
I
put
don't
them
know
all
what
in
they're
the
doing. He's
same-
saying James Gunn said they're starting all over.
Yeah.
So I don't know
We'll
what
just
the
have
hell
to
they're
wait and
doing,
see
man.
what
I
they
don't
do.
know. It's like, why do this? Why show all this potential of what it could be and then say it end and then end it?
Right.
I just don't get it. It's just confusing to me. But anyway, I think that's all I have today for the comic book corner. Thank you for watching that. What we got? We got the hot mess. Let's go to the hot mess, bro.
Get ready for the week's Hollywood Hot Mess with Iesha Rowan. Sponsored by
No one.
All right, guys. So this week's hot mess is Tory Lanez. And the reason why I'm selecting Tory Lanez as the hot mess this week is because he has now hired the infamous Casey Anthony lawyer to fight or win his appeal.
Yeah. You already lost, though. Maybe you probably should have did that at first.
Exactly. And that's what Casey Anthony's former lawyer is saying, is that he wished that Tory Lanez would have called him before he went to trial, and he probably wouldn't have gotten a 22 year prison sentence. The high-powered lawyer told TMZ on Tuesday that he's ready to go all out for Tory Lanez.
Right.
Stating that he's very confident that there were procedural errors made, partly because it was a high-profile trial,
right,
and that will be the foundation of Tory's appeal for the conviction. So he feels pretty good about winning the appeal.
Oh man, I never really spoke too much on this case because it's too much. I didn't pay attention to the trial. It's a lot of hearsay, and it's hard to. I'm not doing what other people were doing and jumping on with Tory Lanez saying this girl was lying. I'm not doing that. You know what I mean? Because I don't know. I wasn't there. I just can't do that. So he was found guilty. So it's not looking good for him.
But I mean, if there were procedural errors or any type of errors that could have gone, within the trial, the prosecution, the defense, whatever that they're talking about, these procedural errors are.
Well, they say that a lot. So you gotta prove it.
Right. So that's what the next step is.
Yeah, if he can prove it,
errors,
prove it. But you know what I mean? But from where I'm looking,
will proving that there were procedural errors overturn the 22-year prison sentence? That's
what I'm saying. It's not looking good.
Right.
But that's like I say, man, we gotta stop playing with these guns. Regardless of what, you get drunk, you get drinking, you gotta stop playing with these guns, man. Leave them alone, bro. All right, you want to go to the game?
Yeah, let's go for it.
All right. That wasn't supposed to happen.
Let's get ready to play trivia for Loot. Sponsored by
Intro to Let's Play This Trivia for Loot, man. It's just gonna be me and Jimmy today. Let's see how well we are in reading. What you got, Jimmy? Let's see.
All right, question 1 is, what's the right way to make Kool-Aid?
What? I could tell you.
Is it A, water sugar Kool-Aid, B, sugar Kool-Aid water,
What?
or C, Kool-Aid sugar water?
What? Yeah, I'm gonna go with sugar Kool-Aid water B.
And you're both wrong. It is Kool-Aid, sugar, and then water.
Why would you put the
Kool-Aid, then the sugar? Wow.
Oh no, this one, I think.
Next question. Where was the first example of paper money used? Is it A, China, B, Turkey, or C, Greece?
Greece.
I'm going with China. They invented paper.
Yep.
And I am right.
All right. Which of the following languages
Greek
has the longest alphabet? Is it A, Greek, B, Russian, or C, Arabic?
Greek.
I'm going to go with Arabic C.
You're both wrong.
It's Russian. Wow. Huh. That's crazy.
All right. Which app has the most total users?
Dang.
A, TikTok, B, Snapchat, or C, Instagram?
Instagram.
I'm gonna say TikTok. It's worldwide.
But you're wrong.
What?
They do not have the most users. That would be C,
Snapchat.
Instagram.
It's Instagram. What? You got it. You got one right.
So do you.
I got two.
You got one.
Two.
You got one. What are you talking about?
I do got two.
No, you don't. You got one.
You got two.
Where did you get two?
I got two, man.
How? You only got the Nah, because I ain't finna lose this game.
You did. I got. You already losing.
All right, next question.
Nah, because he got the Kool-Aid one wrong. Then he got the second one right. Then he got the third one wrong. Because he said he didn't say Russian. He didn't say Russian.
All right, let's go. Come on.
You got
All
one.
right,
It's
all
1-1. Don't do that. I've been counting.
Whatever. It's two.
You got. Let's go back.
Where's the rock?
Where is the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame located? Is it A, Cleveland, B, Philadelphia,
Maybe it was just a premonition.
C, Nashville?
Nashville. I
It's in
got two.
Cleveland, Ohio.
It's in Nashville.
It is in Cleveland, Ohio.
It's in Nashville, Tennessee. Nashville. It says ABA anyway. Okay.
It does say ABA.
Hey, look. Don't worry about that.
She's
okay?
done that a couple times. It's all good.
Now you got two.
All right. In
In
atoms, what carries positive energy? A, protons, B, proteins, or C, neurons?
Protons.
Oh my goodness. I don't even remember this. I'm gonna say neurons. Even though I might be wrong.
Protons, but
It is A, protons.
Protons.
that's 2-2, huh? That's 2-2. That's 2-2. Go give me a round of applause. Oh,
True or false?
false. False.
You must be married to foster or adopt children.
False. Definitely false.
False.
That's
But
3.
he already seen the answer though.
Right.
That's 3-3.
All right. This next question is,
I know who this one
what
is.
player had the
Yeah.
following stat line?
Dennis Rodman.
0 points, 28 rebounds, 10 offensive boards, and 3 assists.
Dennis Rodman.
Dennis Rodman.
That man was not a scorer like that.
Well,
All right. We'll see if you
Last
guys
one.
know this one. Which country is known as the Emerald Isle? Is it A, France, B, Ireland, or C, Norway?
I'm going to Ireland.
yeah, that sounds like it should be the right one. Green, Emerald, Ireland. I guess so, yeah.
It is B, Ireland.
Uh-huh.
Final question. True or false? Julius Caesar married Cleopatra.
False.
I can't remember. True.
It is true.
There you go.
That's you.
It's in the movie that I never watched. They just it was Cleopatra the person that they're making the movie, Jada Pinkett is making a movie about?
Yes, it is.
A lot of people are upset because they made her dark skin, especially the Egyptians.
Mhm.
They're not happy about that because they
she was
say
supposed
that,
to be lighter skin.
yeah, they say she was lighter skinned. But the main thing is that, old girl is very, they said she was Greek, Macedonian, and she was mixed. So who knows? And they said that was a Greek period of Egypt where the Greek had taken over Egypt at that time.
Mhm.
So who knows, man, what she looked
Nico.
like, man.
You
I don't.
said same thing. Water, Kool-Aid. Nah. First of all, you spelled Kool-Aid wrong. You used a C. We don't use C's around here with Kool-Aid. Second of all, Greece was wrong. And third of all, I don't know why he put that emoji. But anyway, yeah, I keep going. Spelling Kool-Aid wrong. Talk about
But yeah, so
Kool-Aid.
that's pretty cool. But who we got next week?
Next week we have, let's see. Next week is Atlas rapper.
Oh yeah. It's Lloyd Hopkins' son, Atlas Hopkins, right?
Mhm.
We'll have him on. I think he's a journalist too. He's a journalist. He does a lot of different things, and he does a lot of things around the community. So we're gonna have Atlas Hopkins in the next week. That's gonna be dope. We can't wait to have him. We appreciate everybody for watching. Thanks, Nico, for watching for once in every blue moon. Maybe we'll see you in the building one of these days. Maybe. But other than that, right on Iesha, right on Jimmy. Thanks for everybody for watching, and peace out.
Holla holla.
Thanks for watching another episode of Habari Live. Make sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel and get updates on news, the podcast, and more. Follow us on Facebook and Twitter. And don't forget to visit www.habarientertainment.com. See you next week. Peace.